Hello, everybody. We're back to a red-black tree discussion today. We are joined again, as always, by Jules. There's no camera of my face, but I mean, come on. If it's my face or Jules, uh, I would be I would be very skeptical if you said you'd prefer to see my face. Come on, let's be real. We've got Jules the cat here. Give him a scritch. Yeah. Hey, bud. All right, so let's get started here with red black trees. So last time we talked about red black trees and how to insert nodes into them. So I made up this little tree diagram. So if you do the little print and play, you could draw up something like this for yourself if you'd like. And I wrote some notes to myself about the insert method here, and then I wrote some notes here about the red black tree properties so that after I do an insert, I can convince myself that that I still have a red black tree, right? With an AVL tree, we just compare heights and we're good, but here we have to look at the coloring of the nodes. And for my board game and also the print and play version, you'll see that these are reversible, and the purpose of that is for red-black trees. So let's do an insert, right? So if we remember, we insert a node and we put it in as red, um, and then we go from there. So there's a special case if the node we insert is the very first node, we insert it as red, and then we say, oh, I'm the root. I'm just going to change it to be a black node. So that's our first node there, and we can look. Is the root black? Yup. Are the leaves? Now remember, null pointers are black. So this is technically not even our leaf. The leaves when we're talking about red black trees will be the null pointers, so they're assumed to be black. Um, internal node, if there's all red nodes, their children are black. Well, there are no red nodes, so we're good there. And leaves have the same black depth. Well, there's just two leaves here, and they have the same black depth of one. They have one black ancestor. Sounds good. All right, so let's insert another node. We've got 38. We insert it here to the right because again, this is a balance. This is a binary search tree, so we just put it on the right there, and then we ask ourselves, are we good? Well, yeah, right. So we have this is a leaf here, this is a leaf here, and this is a leaf here. The root is still black. There's only one red node, so we don't have any double reds, and the black nodes have one. All the black leaves have only one black ancestor. So still looking good. All of our red black tree properties are intact. So let's put in 13. So 13 goes over here. It's red. Looking good. Feeling good. All right. So we put that red node in. We still have all of these. Now the leaves are here. These are two black leaves. Black leaves. In fact, if you're I dropped something. If you want to help remember, you could color these in as black and say like, well, when they're pointing to nothing, they're counted as black. Like that, right? So all four of these black leaves only have one black ancestor. So we're good. Excellent. All right, so now let's put in 18. All right, so 18 goes there by our normal balanced binary or binary search tree insert. So now we have a double red. Now we have a double red. So what do? We look at the ant and we say, is the ant black or is she red, right? So this is a tree of ants, I suppose. So the ant of 18 is 38, and so you may ask, well, how do I find the ant like with code? You would go up to your grandparent and then you would keep track of who your parent is and you would look at the other child. So my parent is the left child of 18. Or you could just say, I'm 18, my grandparent is 27, and because 18 is less than 27, my aunt must be the right child, so on. So we see that it's red. And so what is our procedure here? Well, we do a color change. So the way the color change works, if we swap over to Chrome, okay, so if we swap over to Chrome, we look here and we have red. So what we do is we color both the parent and the aunt as black. We change them to black and make the grandparent red. So we do that. So now we have that, and then we make the grandparent red. Are we done? No. Why? Well, we've broken the very first rule that the root is now red. So what do we do? Well, if one of these case 2s makes it all the way up to the root and you end up coloring the root red, what you can do at that point is you can just make it black. You just turn it black. And so why does that work? Well, let's look here. So I have all of these black leaves here. I have 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of, like, this one has one black ancestor. This one has one black ancestor. These two have black ancestors, right? So these two also have one. So the black depth of all 5 of these nodes is 1. So what can I do now? I can, if I change this to black, I'm adding 1 black depth to all of the black leaves, which means, so if I add 1 to everybody, we're not going to break this depth criterion, which is leaves have the same black depth. We're adding 1 black depth to all of the leaves. Therefore, we've not broken anything. So there we go. Looking good. Still have a red-black tree. Very exciting. All right, let's put in 8. So 8 goes in. Remember, everything gets inserted as red. These have really been put through the ringer at this point. So 8 goes over here. All right, looking good. No double red, so we're done. Do we still have a red-black tree? Yeah. Let's have a specific agenda here. All right, let's do 25. So we're going to put 25 in. 25 less than 27, greater than 13, greater than 18. Now, one thing I want to point out, you absolutely should practice this, like 100%. One thing I'll point out is at this point, you've done so much with binary search trees and balancing them and stuff, is that you're going to start to mess this up. Like, when we would do this in person, I would see like 25 over here, and I'd be like, guys, what are you doing? Right? And it's, it's a silly mistake because you're thinking about like all these heuristics and all this other stuff, and you're going to make silly mistakes, and that's fine. I will no doubt make a silly mistake of my own here. So we've inserted 25. Now we have a problem. Now we have a problem. We have another double red. So we look over here. We look at the ant. She is red. So we're going to flip the colors of these 3 nodes. And we're done, right? So if 13 had a red parent, we'd have to repeat the procedure, but we don't. So we're done. Cool. Is this a red-black tree? Is this a valid red-black tree? Here are our constraints. Is this a valid... Can I back this out a little bit? Just a little bit. Yeah. So, is this a red-black tree? Well, let's look at our leaves. So we have leaf, 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 and then there's 2 leaves under 25, not depicted. Leaf, leaf. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 leaves. What are their black depths? Black depth of 2, black depth of 2, black depth of 2, 2 black depths of 2, and then black depth of 2, black depth of 2. So now, this goes back to the fact that these red nodes are like cheat days. They're like creative accounting. If we look only at the black nodes, we have 1 layer of black. We just have basically a tree where it's only 2 deep of black nodes. There's 1 black depth here and then 2 black depth here, right? So if we kind of squint our eyes and we look at this, if we ignore the red nodes, we have a perfect tree that's all black nodes. Okay. Fun. So now I want to ask you another question. Is this a legal AVL tree? Is it? So we say it's a legal red-black tree. It is. Is it a legal AVL tree? No. No, it's not. It's not a legal AVL tree, right? This has a depth of, this is a height of 1, this is a height of 3. This would require further rebalancing, right? We would have to we'd have to rotate right this 13 to be the, or no, we'd have to rotate 18 left and then 18 up to the new to be the new root if it were an AVL tree. So we're already starting to see that red black trees don't have to do as much restructuring, which is kind of nice. All right, so let's keep on trucking. Let's see, can I get a case one here? That's going to be tricky. All right, well, we'll start putting in large numbers. 51 goes over here, no double red. 55 goes in over here, double red. So now we look at my ant of 55. So go up here and we go over here. It's a null pointer, or in this case, it's presumed to be a black node. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a case one, which is a restructure. So when we do the restructure, we do the rotation. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the node that I inserted, and its parent and its grandparent, and we're going to take the middle value there and rotate it to be into this place. So this requires only a left rotation here. And then once we're done the rotation, we make the new root red and the children black. So let's go look at Chrome for that. Or actually, right, it's this. I was like, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, the new root is black and the children are red. Okay. So here we have it. Looking, the new root is black and the children are red. So if we come back over here, we can see now things are getting spicy, right? So the root has a red left child and a black right child. And if we look, we still have all of these leaves still have a black depth of 2, but now the like layers are crisscrossed, right? Down here though, right, this is where the greatest imbalance is. If we look at this null pointer here, if we trace it back up to the root, we see red, black, red, black. And so what that's telling us is that this node is really imbalanced. Like it's going, if we found a way to keep inserting here, like if I put 26 in, there's going to probably have to be some restructures done because I have to alternate red and black all the way up to the root. There's a lot of cheat days over here, right? There's 2 nodes and a path to the root, whereas over here there's only 1. All right. Okay, so we're starting to fill up here. Let's do another insertion though. So let's do 41, which we'll put in as red. So over here, over here, over here. Cool. Now, now we have another double red. And so we look at our ant and we see, oh, my ant is red. That means I flip these colors. So flip, flip, flip. And now these are all lined up very nicely. Ooh, this is like a little flag. It's like our data structure. It's our 341 flag. Red, white, and black, I guess, will be our 341 colors. All right, so yeah, does that roll off the tongue? I think red, black, and white. Could do them alphabetical. Anyway, but never mind. Anyway, so now we've done another insert. This tree's starting to fill up. It's actually quite difficult to do this on a piece of paper because of the maximum allowable height imbalance. If I have, so for instance, if I just look at this, oh, it's easier to cover up on my hand. If I just look at the right side, how tall can the left subtree of 27 be? What is the most tall it can be? Okay, 6, right? It can be twice as tall as the left-hand side. So I could have a huge amount of nodes on the left-hand side. Similarly, what's the shortest it could be? The shortest it could be is 2, I think. I think it's 2. I don't know how odd numbers work. I'd have to think about it. It's 1 or 2. So this subtree over here can be either half as tall as this subtree or twice as tall. So these trees can get a lot more imbalanced, which means fitting them on a piece of paper where you have to double the width of your paper every time you go down, because you know that whole exponential thing gets hard to fit on. And if you see a copy of my board game, there's like the root is like inches super far away from its children because that's how you fit it onto a board. All right, cool. So now let's go over to the slides. Let's talk about removal. If we didn't get a chance to go over this, would you rather? We can go over that. All right. So, how do we remove nodes? Let's assume we're deleting a node with at most one non-leaf child, right? How do we do that? And how can we assume that that's the case? Well, the way that we can assume that that's the case is if we did the in-order predecessor swap. So how did we do? Right. So we let's assume we know how to do a normal binary search tree deletion. So let's assume we have at least one leaf fake dataless node. So now we have to do some more naming. Ugh. So we're going to let V be the internal node removed, right? So this is the node you're actually removed. We're going to let V stand for victim here. It's the node that's actually going to get removed. It's the victim. Then there's W, which will be an external node removed as well, which will be one of those null pointers. And then R is the sibling of W, and we'll let R stand for remain. So R remains after the victim is removed. All right. I'm just coming up with these shorthand. That's actually, they're just math. People just chose some letters for some reason. Maybe that's why they chose them. I don't actually know. So what happens if either V or R, meaning the node that we actually removed, or the node sticking around afterwards, the remainder one, was red, we go, phew! Because at that point, we can color R black and we're done, right? So what just happened? We want to keep our accounting straight, right? These red nodes are cheat days. So if I delete a black node, what I can do is have a red node kind of absorb that that black height so that we stay in red black tree country. So that is the safety of having either V or R be a red node. Otherwise, we color R double black, which now becomes so meaning if V and R are both black, we have to color the node that sticks around double black, which is a violation of the depth property, right? So in this case, V and R are both black, so we're going to get rid of 8 and then color this one double black. So it's like a deeper shade of black. I don't know where they chose these colors. I don't know. I would make it cyan for like cheat color, and then I don't know what the normal color. But anyway, so so we have double black. Okay. So how do we deal with the double black? Oh, it's a pain in the butt. Now we look at our sister Y, and we ask, does sister Y have a red child? If so, then we do a rotation. So in this case, here, we look at our sister Y. She has a red child. We're going to look at these 3 nodes and rotate such that the node with the middle value is the new root. So we'd rotate 4 to the left and then 4 to the right to get this. This allows us to kind of like pull up the red node so that we can turn it black. So that we can change its color to black and fix our accounting so that we can use this cheat day to absorb the extra black height that we have over here. If Y is black and both of its children are black, we're kind of in a bad place, right? Because there's no cheat day that we can use to absorb this double blackness. So what we're going to do is color Y red and R black. If X is red, we color it black and we're done. If X is black, we color it double black and keep on moving up the tree. Woof. Lastly, are you going to have to memorize these? No. I would never. No, you're not going to ever. When we do in-person class, you don't have to memorize these. I give you a cheat sheet because this is crazy. No one should have to memorize this. Except I have because of the incident. Anyway, here we go. Oh no. All right, whatever. I'll fix that later. Uh, so the last case, your sibling is red, in which case you perform an adjustment, which they name adjustment for some reason, where you restructure again. So you rotate your sister into be your parent, and uh, and then at that point you will either have a case one or a case two. The way this works is so we have to ask ourselves how many restructurings could we possibly do. Um, if we hit case one, we do one restructuring. Case one is one restructuring and then we're done. Okay, so that's worst case one restructuring. Case two, we perform a recoloring and then we recurse back up. So this is zero for a case two. It might lead to a case one or a case three, but case twos contribute no restructuring. And so then case three, you do a restructuring, and then you might go to a case one. So our worst case scenario is we hit a case two, or we hit a case three, perform a restructuring, then a case one applies, and then we perform a second restructuring. So in a delete, the worst case number of restructurings or rotations that we do is 2. In an insert, let's look at inserts. What do we have here? Well, if we do this trinode restructuring for an insert, we're done. So that's 1, or not trinode. If we do the rotations, that's 1 restructuring. And then if we hit a case 2, we might just have to hit case 2s or case 1s, but case 1 always ends it. So there's at most 1 restructuring. So red black trees, when you do an insert or a removal, for an insert you're at most going to have 1 restructuring, and for a removal you're at most going to have 2. For an AVL tree you have at most log n. So that's more when your tree starts to get bigger. And that's not like a constant thing. For red black trees, it's 2 for removals, 1 for inserts. All right. So we're going to practice. But first, a would you rather. You can make your finger glow like a flashlight, or every morning there's an unmelted piece of a random kind of candy under your pillow. Nice. Score. Rocking it. All right. Oh, yeah. So we're going to freeze. Ah! And then we're back. Okay. Jules, did you enjoy that freeze? How's it going? He's chilling. He is king of Chill Mountain. All right. So let's go back to the tree view and let's remove a node. Okay. So let's remove 27. So for 27, we're going to find our in-order successor. Or actually, let's find our in-order predecessor, because that's what will make the visualization happy if we go through it. I have not been following along with the visualization, so let's hope I don't make mistakes. So the in-order predecessor is 1 step left all the way to the right, and then we're going to swap them and their colors. Okay. So I've swapped them and their colors. And now I'm going to delete 27. So let's go look at our slides. What do we do? What do we do? If either V or re... So this is V. This one's V. Or wait, sorry. I got it. This is going to be editing nightmare. Or production nightmare. This one's V. It's the victim. It's the one we're going to delete, right? We said we're going to delete 27. This one's V. One of its null pointers is going to be the one that takes its place when we remove it. That one's R, and the other one's W, which is the one that will get deleted along with it. So the first line of this slide is, if either V or R was red, color R black, and we are done. 27 is red, so we're just going to remove it, and we're done. And if we look here, all of these things still have the same black depth, so we're happy. All right, let's do an annoying one. Oh, let's be brave. All right, let's delete So an annoying thing to delete would be a black node, right? Those are the annoying ones to delete because they become double black. Do I have my double black? There's a double black token. I'm going to pause and go get my double black token. Oh! There it is. All right. So now we're going to delete 18. 18 is R. Wait, no, 18 is V, and then one of its children is R. We'll pick this one, right? So we're going to delete it and color this one double black. Now we have to go look through our slides. There's also a cheat sheet in the slide folder. If you want to print that out, it makes it so you don't have to troll through the slides. So let's go look at the slides. Okay, so we've colored it double black. So now we have to look at our sibling. I'm going to rearrange OBS here a touch. Get Jules over there. Get this nice and big so that you can kind of read it. All right, cool. So now we're going to look at our sibling, which is black. If it's black and has a red child, nope, next slide. If Y is black and both its children are black, if Y is black and both its children are black, we have a case 2. Perform a recoloring. Color Y red and R black. So Y is now colored red. R becomes normal black. If X is red, color it black and we are done. Okay. So we had it like this. And so we asked, is our sister node black with both black children? Yeah. Then then we're going to change its color to red. If our parent is red, we get to change it to black, and that gets rid of our double black. If our parent was black, we would color this double black and recurse. But we don't have to, so we're done. Now let's look at this tree. Do we believe that it's still a red-black tree? Depth of 2, 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 depth of 2. And I'm referring to the black depth here. So all of these have black depth, so black depth of 2, so we have a red-black tree. All right, neato. Let's delete 55. All right. So we delete 55. 55 is V. There's going to be a node R that we have to color black because 55 is black. If we were deleting 54 or 41, we'd be fine because we wouldn't have to color anything double black. Then we look, let's go back to the slides. Now we look at our sister and we say, is it black and both its children are black? No. Is it black and has a red child? Then we perform a restructuring. So we're going to perform a restructuring like this. We're going to look at these nodes and we're going to say, okay, so this is the middle value. So I'm going to rotate left and then I'm going to rotate right. Okay, so let's go back to the slide. So we performed the restructuring. Color the new root the color of X, which was red. Right? I think so, yeah. And then color the other nodes black. Okay, and then we remove the double black, and we're done. Okay, so let's check my work. We colored this red, which was what the former root was, and then we color the other two nodes black. And now let's look at this. Black depth of 2, BD2, 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 BD2. So they all have a black depth of 2, so we still have a red-black tree. All right, let's see if I can concoct a case 3 nightmare. I mean, totally fine. Something with a red sibling. Oh. 13. No, wouldn't work. Okay, let's delete 8. Now, that'll work. So if I try to delete 13, it has a red child, so I would just paint that black. And I'd be okay, right? So if either the node you're deleting or the node or one of its children is red, then you don't have the double black scenario. So let's delete 8 first. So now we have 13. We're going to try to delete 13. We're going to look, and we don't have a red child, so this is going to become a double black node. And then we're going to look at our sister who is red, which gives us a case 3. Y is red. So then we perform an adjustment. So we're going to perform an adjustment, and we're going to color Y black and X red. All right, so here we go. Y black, X red. So this is Y. We're going to color Y black and X red, and then we're going to perform an adjustment where we move this down like this. We're going to do that rotation. And either case 1 applies. Oh, wait, yeah. Or case 2 applies. Wait, where was I? Oh no. Oh, okay. So the black is over here. So now this is where my double black is. So now I have either a case 1 or a case 2. So this still isn't a red black tree because I have a double black here. So now I have to look at the sibling of this double black, and either a case 1 or a case 2 will apply. So if we remember, a case 1 is a Y is black and has a red child, but that's not the case. So it's a case 2. Y is black and its children are both black. Yes. So we perform a recoloring where we color Y red and R black. So this becomes Y red and R black. And then if X is red, which it was, color it black and we're done. There we have it. That is our red-black tree after performing this deletion. Whoo! Case 3s, when you see a case 3, you're like, uh-oh, here it comes. Oh, no, right? So it's very tricky, but it's definitely work throughable. And so on and so forth. So what we're going to do in the live class today is if you have any questions, we can set up things, or I can do like we did before when I had this situation out and try some more exercises. But that's red-black trees. We're not going to prove that their height is logarithmic because we did it for AVL trees. Basically, red-black trees are much more complicated in that sense. So yeah, this will conclude our discussion of balanced binary search trees. Next class, we'll be talking about heaps. Heaps. Beeps. All right, everybody. Have a good day.